Whoa, wait, really? We're getting a sequel? Awesome! And in 2026, eh? Guess we've got a while to wait then. But hey, the anticipation will make it even better when it finally releases. I can't wait to see what you've got up your sleeve for the next adventure. It's gonna be one hell of a ride. Whoa, really? Time flies. Sure, let's kick off the sequel. I'm definitely eager to see where this story goes next. Lead the way, my friend. Good question. She was a bit reluctant to leave after all. Maybe she wanted a fresh start, some space from all that meme madness, but hey, with Susie being Susie, who knows what she's up to? Only time will tell. Can't wait to see how her story unfolds in the sequel. It's gonna be good! Woo! Let's do this! I'm ready for the next installment. Time to dive back into this wild world and see what adventures await. Lead the way, friend. I'm all buckled in and ready for the ride. Let's go. Susie's head jerks up at the sound of her name being called. She glances around, trying to pinpoint the source of the voice. When her gaze lands on Aeon, she blinks in surprise. She had been sure she was the only one out here, but here he was, standing right there in the shadows under a tree. Her guard goes up instinctively, but she can't deny the flicker of recognition in her eyes. Aeon? Susie bristles visibly upon hearing the question. Her expression hardens slightly, and she crosses her arms defensively. My friends? What makes you think I need friends? I'm doing just fine on my own. Better, even. She tries to sound nonchalant, as if she's unfazed by the thought of being alone. But there's a hint of a waver in her voice that betrays her true feelings. I'm not exactly the social type, if you hadn't noticed. Susie rolls her eyes, not in the mood for this kind of talk. Yeah, I know the drill. You're the all-powerful major character and I'm just the lowly protagonist, lucky enough to have some plot armor. Big whoop? Her sarcasm is thick, almost bitter in its delivery. She huffs, kicking at a loose rock on the ground with the toe of her boot. Her arms remain firmly crossed, almost like a shield between herself and the world. Building up suspense, Susie follows cautiously, her eyes narrowing as they approach the house. The place looks familiar. Too familiar. Wait a second. She stops short, voice dropping to a whisper. No way. This can't be. She stares at the front door, heart pounding in her chest. The house belongs to someone from her past. One she thought she'd never see again. Susie's breath hitches at the sound of that voice, Fala. Her eyes widen slightly, a mix of shock and disbelief flashing across her face. She hadn't expected this. Of all the people to run into, she takes a small step forward, arms slowly uncrossing as she studies Fala with cautious curiosity. You don't remember us? Her voice is softer now, laced with something almost like hurt. She glances at Aeon briefly, confused, unsure whether this was his plan all along. And this is Aeon. We just showed up. She gestures vaguely between them, still watching Fala closely for any sign of recognition. Susie's jaw clenches slightly at the mention of a boyfriend. Of course Fala had a boyfriend. She was cute, fun, and easygoing. And here Susie was, alone for days. No friends, no partner. Just the life of an introverted badass loner, as always. She swallows hard, pushing down that twinge of jealousy. She shoves her hands into her pockets, trying to sound nonchalant. No, sorry, can't say I've seen him around. There's a hint of bitterness in her voice. Susie freezes, her blood runs cold, her fingers curl into fists inside her pockets. Of all the names she didn't expect to hear, Fawn was Fala's boyfriend? The room tilts for a second. Memories flash, his loud laugh, the way he busted her out of that mental hospital, how he waved goodbye with that dumb grin. And now? He just vanished? Left without a word? She forces herself to stay calm, voice low and tight. Wait, Fawn? As in, tall guy? Always quoting memes like an idiot? She swallows hard, eyes flicking to Anne like she's silently begging him. Is this real? Yeah, I know him. A beat passes. Then, softer. I thought he was with you. Susie lets out a breath she didn't realize she was holding. Relief floods her, but she quickly tucks that away. Fawn might or might not be cheating, she doesn't know. She'll cross that bridge later if it comes up. Right now, Fala is clearly heartbroken and confused. She studies Fala, feeling a pang of empathy. This girl didn't deserve to be left in the dark like this. Have you tried reaching out to him? Maybe he got caught up with something and just forgot to tell you? Susie stiffens, her heart aching for Fala. 9 months? 9 months and he just up and vanished, leaving Fala scared, worried something might have happened to him? Anger sparks to life hot and fierce inside Susie. 9 months? And you haven't heard from him this entire time? At all? Not a text, a call, nothing? Susie lets out a harsh breath through gritted teeth, fists clenching in her pockets. Yeah, well, he'd better have a damn good excuse for disappearing like that. Not even bothering to explain or say a freaking word to you? Leaving you hanging for 9 months and making you worry like that? She lets out a huff, shaking her head almost disappointedly at the thought. Some boyfriend. Really shitty of him to do. Poor Fala, she's clearly worried sick and has no idea why he suddenly ditched her without explanation. No wonder she's upset. Meanwhile, Susie's blood is boiling on Fala's behalf. She has a major soft spot for those who get hurt or betrayed by others, and Fawn's actions haven't done him any favors in her eyes. Susie scowls, eyes narrowed. She mutters under her breath. Jerk. Susie bites back a snarl of frustration. Fala's plea only serves to make her angrier, not at Fala herself but at Fawn. He caused this. He made Fala worry and feel abandoned. And now she's pleading on his behalf like he's the victim, and Susie is the one in the wrong? She clenches her fists tighter within her pockets, the knuckles white. And why the hell not? He hurt you, left you without a word, without explanation. Why are you defending him? Susie stops mid-rant, caught off guard. She almost snaps a retort at Aeon for interrupting her, but the reference snaps her back to reality. This is still an episode. A show with an audience. She'd almost forgotten in her anger and concern for Fala. She lets out a frustrated huff, taking a small step back and crossing her arms. Yeah, right, sorry. She falls silent, still fuming internally. She glances at Fala, her arms still crossed stubbornly. Susie's heart clenches in her chest at the sight of Fala holding that flower, bleeding. The pain and sadness in her voice is palpable. She can feel herself cracking, her anger giving way to a wave of soft empathy. She can see now just how much Fala loves this guy, how much he hurt her by disappearing. She sighs, her arms uncrossing as she shoves her hands into her pockets again. Damn it. Susie hesitates, torn between wanting to comfort Fala and knowing that the plot must move forward. She nods reluctantly. Yeah, sure, we'll go. She glances at Aeon, silently asking him to follow as she starts for the door. Susie raises an eyebrow, somewhat surprised. She hadn't realized a whole day had passed either. A whole day, huh? Damn. Time really flies, I guess. She shrugs, trying to hide her surprise. After a beat, she adds in a casual tone. So, what now? Susie huffs a laugh at the suggestion, a small smirk tugging at the corner of her mouth. She's still a little frustrated and on edge from the whole Fala situation, but exploring sounds like a decent distraction. Sure, why not? We've got nowhere else to be. She gestures for Aeon to lead the way. Looking forward to it. Can't wait to see where this exploration leads us in the next episode.